What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome back. Today is June 28th, 2025, and today we're going to cover a news story that came out yesterday, June 27th. Reportedly, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, has sued Fox Media Group for a whopping $787 million, thanks to alleged defamation. In this video, we'll discuss the numerology of this story and why June 27th was the date for this to hit the headlines. The number 787 immediately stood out because one of my most recent videos on this channel was about the first ever major airline crash of a 787 Dreamliner. Now, if you saw that video, you may recall that crash occurred at 1:38 p.m. local time in India. Well, this gives a strong numerical connection. The number 787 is the 138th prime number. So how appropriate that whether you use the standard alphabetic order or standard extended English Gematria, the name of the company that Gavin is suing for $787 million has Gematria of 138 in multiple methods. The language of Gematria is a key focus of this channel, drawing the numeric value from the alphabetic order. And we start with ordinal, and as you saw, the standard cipher, which uses the same alphabetic order, but amplifies the numbers instead. So now for the second time in a couple weeks, we get a story that connects these numbers. And why is he suing Fox? Well, it's about comments that he made during a phone call with Donald Trump. Donald Trump also has 138 Gematria in the alphabetic order. Another cipher we will glance at throughout this video is called Sumerian, which is the alphabetic order times 6. And this is an important one to this story as well, because the man that he is suing, or more accurately, the anchor that he's looking for an apology from on Fox News, is Jesse Waters. And the name Jesse Bailey Waters equals 1308 in the Sumerian method. You may also notice the 218 in ordinal. 218 times 6 is 1308. Well, check out how old Gavin Newsom was when he made this lawsuit public. 21,080 days. That special 218. So we'll look more at this 218 in a little bit. Not only is this story connected to Gavin Newsom and Jesse Waters, but in the second part of this video, we'll also explain how this is all connected to the numerology of Freemasonry. This dollar amount, 787 million. This is the Latin value of the word Freemasonry. Latin, or Agrippa's key, the only method not based in the alphabetic order I teach, but the one I consider to be the most important. Freemasonry, however, is not the only secret society we'll be discussing. We'll also look at Yale's Skull and Bones Society, which is heavily Masonic in its roots. Skull and Bones is headquartered at Yale University, which was founded exactly 1,787 months before California became a state. All right, so let's take a step back and look at some of the wider gematria here, showing that the word defamation has matching values with both California and the governor of the state, Gavin Newsom. 88, 182, 56, among a couple of others as well. Well, Gavin Newsom was born on October 10th of 1967. A birthday that's connected to the Revelation Code as well, as we will see. This means he was born on a date with primary numerology of 106. This lawsuit was made public a span of 106 days before his next birthday. And the company he's suing, Fox News, sums to 106 in the alphabetic order. And the anchor he's upset at for making defamatory comments is named Waters. The name Waters also gives us the 106. Now, all of this has to do with a phone call Newsom had with Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump retook the White House on January 20th of this year, which means yesterday's news fell during his 159th day back in the Oval Office. Well, 159 is a number that's relevant to Donald Trump, whose name using the standard reverse alphabetic order, where Z is assigned 1, Y gets a 2, all the way through A is 26. Furthermore, his last name Trump also equals 1590 in squares. But this number also represents the connection between Gavin Newsom and the Fox News channel, which first launched in October of 1996, when Gavin Newsom was 10,590 days old. It's the Scottish rite of Freemasonry that we will also be exploring in this video. Freemasonry just recently celebrating its anniversary back on June 24th, earlier this week. Fox News Media is owned by billionaire mogul Rupert Murdoch, who is still alive and kicking at the age of 94. Now, when Fox News was launched in 1996, notice how Murdoch was exactly 65 years and 30 weeks old, which gives us the digits 653. Yesterday was exactly 6 years, 5 months, and 3 weeks after Gavin Newsom became the governor of California. The number 653 is a prime number. And as we see on my website, gematrinator.com, it's the 119th prime number. Newsom's full name, Gavin Christopher Newsom, equals 119 in Pythagorean or reduction gematria. His name also equals 137, and the 137th prime number was here as well. But back to this number 119, as this is important to Fox News as well. Gavin Newsom became the governor exactly 1,161 weeks after Fox News launched. Gavin was also born 119 days after the birthday of Donald, whose name equals 119. Maybe it's worth noting that yesterday was also 1 month and 19 days after the first ever American Pope took over at the Vatican. Vatican also gives us this 119 value. A few years ago, several of Rupert Murdoch's corporations were merged under one umbrella called Fox Corporation. This happened back in 2019. Yesterday's news was 6 years and 101 days after that date, which took place during Brown Lunation 1190. So from that date, under 119, was an upside-down 119 later. It's also been 119 orbits of Mercury since the launch of the Fox News channel. And Mercury is, of course, important to Donald Trump, who is a Gemini, much like myself, which means he can talk for a long time because Mercury is the ancient god of communication and messaging. Yesterday's news on June 27th was on the 195th mercurial birthday of Fox News anchor Jesse Waters. It takes the planet Mercury approximately 88 days to orbit the sun. Fleet of foot, that planet Mercury. But notice this 195, how this connects to the Scottish rite of Freemasonry. These are the same digits we looked at earlier, the 159 that connected to Donald Trump and the Scottish rite. Well, not only is Mercury's orbital period 88 days, but it also has an 8x8 magic square. And notice how the governor of California was born 88 mercurial years after Donald Trump. And in the basic alphabetic order, California, Trump, and defamation all equal 88. And the governor of California, 88, born 88 mercs after Trump, who is a Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. So I hope this makes sense. It's a very important planet. In fact, if you look at the magic square, you'll discover that each row and column all sum to 260. The word defamation has gematria of 260, and this defamation lawsuit hit the press 260 days after the birthday of Newsom, whose name also equals 26. Now, this news is also intricately linked to Fox Media Group owner Rupert Murdoch. If you measure from the birthday of Rupert Murdoch to Gavin Newsom, you get a span of exactly 439 months. Well, this is the reverse gematria of California Governor Gavin Newsom. And he's been in office for 4 years and 39 weeks. 439 is also a prime number divisible only by 1 and itself. This is the 85th prime number. And I believe this is relevant because it's a number that connects to Revelation, which sums to 850, or 85 with the 0 dropped. In Latin, Revelation sums to 1010, which represents Gavin Newsom's birthday, October 10th. And in the back half of this video, we'll show more about the number 666. Gavin Newsom's age also connects him to Rupert Murdoch for this news. Notice how the governor was 3,011 weeks and 3 days of age yesterday. Well, this is essentially the same digits in the birthday of Rupert Murdoch, who was born on 3/11 of the year 31. Using capital letters, his full name even gives us gematria of 311, using the capitals added cipher, Keith Rupert Murdoch 311. This matches the beast in Latin. 311, another prime number. I hope we're getting used to these by now. It's the 64th prime number. And Murdoch, not only was he born on 3/11, but his birth numerology is also 64. And it's the Fox News channel getting sued here. Fox News channel 64. You know, earlier I was talking about Mercury. And because this is an 8x8 grid, it means there's 64 squares here. And 64 is a number that links the two secret societies I'll be discussing next. First, Freemasonry. And if you look at Freemasonry's founding date, we find that it was founded on a date with primary numerology of 64. Then you also have the Skull and Bone Society, which is headquartered at 64 High Street. And just think about it. 32 times 2, the digits on the emblem, give us a product of 64. Skull and Bones and Secret Society, both 64 and satanic. This number also connects to Joe Biden, and I want to look at Joe Biden at the end of this video. The former president, not really a part of this story, so I don't want to get too deep on him, but we do have to talk more about Freemasonry. At the top of the video, we pointed out the connection with $787 million and how this is the 138th prime. But notice how Freemasonry was founded in the year 1717. And in one of our trusty mathematical ciphers, all based in the alphabetic order, looking at triangular numbers, Governor of California sums to 1717. And this secret society, which just celebrated its anniversary last week, just turned 308 years old. And the name Gavin Newsom does sum to 308 with capital letters. But this is where it gets completely undeniable. Measuring from the birthday of Gavin Newsom to the man he's demanding an apology from, Jesse Waters, is exactly 10 years and 39 weeks. Well, the number 139 is the ordinal sum of Freemasonry. In reverse, Freemasonry also equals 158. And this news broke 158 days after Trump was sworn back into the Oval Office. Notice how both Fox News Channel equals 1508, while Fox News equals 158. Book of Revelation also 1058. But it also stood out to me that Freemasonry, which has the 158 in reverse, was founded 15 years and 8 months after Yale University, which was originally founded as the Collegiate School in 1701, and then the very next year after Masonry's founded was renamed to Yale. So I commonly talk about how there's this distinct Masonic riddle with Skull and Bones, and this is some of the best evidence yet. In fact, Jesse Waters' birthday on July 9th is the date on the calendar that sits opposite of June 24th, Masonry's founding date. Yesterday's news was the date leaving 187 days in the year. Governor of California has the 1087. Masonry's full name, Ancient Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, is 187. And look how much younger Gavin Newsom is than Freemasonry. He was born just a couple weeks after this society turned 3,003 months old. And a lot of people think that the 33rd degree of Masonry is the highest. Whether you write out Masonry or the capital G in their emblem, it both sums to 33. So, the other secret society, Skull and Bones, headquartered at Yale, who a couple years ago celebrated their Skull and Bones anniversary. In the year 2023, Yale turned 322 years old. And on that date, October 9th of 2023, look how old the state of California was, 2,077 months. which is the value of Freemasonry. Yale was founded on the 282nd day of the year, October 9th, matching Gavin Newsom, also the Brotherhood of Death, which is a nickname of the fraternity. But just look at this. We measured between these two guys' birthdays earlier, right? Gavin Newsom and Jesse Waters. And we saw the 139 for Freemasonry. Remember that? However, this same exact duration is also exactly 10 years and 9 months. And that's Yale's founding date, October 9th, 10-9. The name Waters equals 109. And this story broke 109 days after Fox owner Rupert Murdoch's birthday. Notice how Gavin Newsom, I almost called him Gavin Rossdale. I haven't heard Bush in like 15 years, but for some reason, I feel like they must look alike. I don't know what I'm high on today, guys. Sorry. All right, so notice how Gavin Newsom was born on October 10th, which is just a day after Yale's founding date. That means the school turned 266 years old the day before he was born. Well, 266 is the Latin value of the name Jesse Waters. 2066. And when Newsom became the governor a few years ago, Waters was exactly 40 years and 26 weeks old. 426 is the Gematria of Yale. So once again, this Skull and Bones code is no joke. It really is the basis of what they're doing in the media. I've been talking about it for years, and it doesn't slow down, does it? The name Newsom sums to 35, which connects to Scottish rite of Freemasonry and Masonry. But the 35th prime number is 149. And 149 is the ordinal value of Skull and Bones. Revelation, also the 149 in reverse. When yesterday's news broke, Fox News Channel had been on the air for 10,490 days. In fact, the channel was exactly 1,409 weeks old when Yale turned 322. And 1,409 is the 223rd prime number. 223. Like skull and crossbones in the alphabetic order. Also in ordinal, Governor of California, 223. And how old was the Governor of California when Fox News launched? He was exactly 22 years and 3 months old. I actually have this backwards, and in fact, it's even better. Because it's from the date of Fox News' launch to the date that he became the governor of California. 22 years and 3 months. Which matches Governor of California. And now he's suing Rupert Murdoch, the owner whose name equals 223, the inverse of the 322. So it's not only your sitcoms, your dramas, or your action shows that are scripted, but a lot of your news is as well. And this is the best proof you're going to see. Of course, a lot of people are going to claim that you can't do Gematria in English, therefore everything you do is irrelevant. But those people don't have brain cells. At least living ones. Now, Yale University and Skull and Bones are headquartered in New Haven, Connecticut, And notice how this city technically has double gematria of 219. While the state of California also equals 219. And when Newsom became the governor in the year 2019, the state of California was 2019 months old. When you write out the number 219, it has an ordinal value of 218. And perhaps you could say this is the rule of Colel at work. The Masonic rule of Colel states that you can add or subtract one from any gematria value to therefore match it to another one. And it's not really something you need to do in gematria. I've shown enough already that you don't need to do this, but this connection is very intriguing. 219 to 218. Because once again, Gavin Newsom was 21,080 days old for this news story, which broke 20 months and 18 days after Yale's significant anniversary. The book of Revelation equals 218 in ordinal. And when you measure from Donald Trump to Gavin Newsom, you get 21 years and 118 days. And now Gavin Newsom is upset at a man named Jesse Bailey Waters, whose name equals 218. Jesse was 218 months old when Fox News first aired. But he wasn't exactly 218 months old. He was exactly 6,666 days old. He was also born 6,669 weeks and 6 days after California was admitted as a state. And of course, the Brotherhood of Death, highly connected to the number of the beast, 666. Or, as the Bible would spell it, 666. The ordinal value of this phrase is 313. Well, yesterday's news was 3 months and 13 days before Newsom's next birthday. And in reverse, his full name, Gavin Christopher Newsom, equals 313. California Governor Gavin Newsom, also 3103. And 313 is the 65th prime number, which connects to Jesse Bailey Waters, Jesse Waters, and California. There's also an intriguing 144 alignment here for Fox News. Of course, the book of Revelation mentions the number 144 on 4 different occasions. However, some people actually believe that the true number of the beast is 616. This is because of a recently uncovered text called Papyrus 115. And of course, in Gematria, Governor of California, Gavin Christopher Newsom, and Jesse Bailey Waters all sum to 115. When you add 3 6s, you get the number 18, of course. Yesterday was 1 year and 80 days after the Great American Eclipse. Fox equals 18. Rupert Murdoch equals 180. And Murdoch is an Australian, 108 and 180. And don't forget, when you write out Fox, F, O, and X. These are the 3 letters that have reduction gematria of 6, 6, and 6. See that? You go right down the chart. F-O-X, 666. So in standard English gematria, that's the sum of Fox. And don't you think it's funny that Fox has another channel called Fox Business? And the word business also equals 666. corporation with the aforementioned 144 as well. Now, I'm just about done. Thanks to everybody for watching and making it this far. Real quick, I want to touch on the numerology of Joe Biden. And again, Joe Biden's not mentioned anywhere in this story. I want to be very clear. But this is about the president. And I couldn't help but notice Joe Biden's numbers connect amazingly well to Gavin Newsom and yesterday's date. First, if you measure from California's date of statehood to Biden's birthday, look at this, 1,106 months and 11 days. So this is kind of like a double upside down 9/11, I guess. But if you instead measure from his birth to Gavin Newsom's, we find that they were born 9,090 days apart. Well, 9/9 is California's date of admission. And of course, it was 1850, matching Book of Revelation 185. So how old was Joe Biden yesterday? Well, his age has the same digits found in both defamation and California. 82 years, 219 days. But what I think is even more important is the total number of days in his age. 30,170 days. This story was also 3 months and 17 days after Rupert Murdoch's birthday. And when Newsom became the governor of California, it was 317 days before Biden's birthday. And governor of California equals 317. And Newsom became the governor 317 years after Yale was established. Mercury also gives us this number. And I guess it's worth mentioning, since we've been so heavy on prime numbers this video, 317 is the 66th prime, and hopefully we understand by now that 66 is also a big skull and bones number, as this is 3 times 22. And when you write out skull and bones, it has the same gematria as 66, 149, and 41. And just to take this even deeper, the same 4 digits in the standard value of 66 are found in the founding year of Skull and Bones, 1832 to 2318. Biden was also 4,310 weeks old yesterday. 431, the 83rd prime, like Fox News and Waters. And Jesse Waters was born 13,016 days after Joe Biden. And the name Jesse Waters is 1316. So this wasn't a huge news story, nothing groundbreaking. There's no way Gavin Newsom's going to pick up $787 million from Fox News. I mean, what is his case here? Does he think he's going to make $1 billion throughout his career? Like $78,000 maybe? I would understand. This was kind of yesterday's date numerology as well. We had 78 numerology. It was the 178th day of the year, which leaves 187 days on the calendar. So a lot of, 787 in these digits. And then you look at Jesse Waters, and he was born in 78. So as always, I'm sure there's a little bit more to unpack. But for now, I think that's been enough numbers thrown your guys' way. All right, everybody. Thanks again for watching. Check the links down below in the description for more. If you'd like to support the work, also check out the blog, more videos on the YouTube channel. and a little bit more educational content. Peace, love, God bless. We'll talk to you all next time. See ya.